Thought I heard a chicken. What are you doing out here, chicken? What's up, guys? Sunday. We run out here, check on animals. It's raining, as you see. Really raining out here now. Probably too much for the camera. Probably all limbs all wet. Go check on the rabbits first. Try to hold it out here for a few minutes and see if it eases up. Chickens in here. They're not supposed to be in here. They're normally not. I'm guessing they just flew in here because of the weather. If you don't like the weather, wait a few minutes. It'll change. Oh, my sheep shack is falling over. We have to address that. They don't use it. See, they're over there in the rain. They have plenty of places they can get out of the weather. They just don't get out of the weather. If you're checking your chickens just in the morning, you might want to check them twice a day, because what you'll find is they lay eggs a lot of times later in the morning and later in the day. And if you leave them, some of these little buggers will eat the eggs. If they don't have the eggs, they can't begin eating eggs. And if they are eating eggs, you have the chance to get them before something else eats them up. Your egg count will go up probably 20% if you do that. This coop has no layer pellet. This is scratch and black oil sunflower seed. These are hen gear nest boxes. Pretty happy with them. We've been using them for a few years. That one has a timer on it, so you can set the bar to close. You have to manually close the bar in the late afternoon, evening, so the chickens don't get in there and sleep in it. And then the timer releases a pin which frees the spring to pull the bar open. And it's pretty loud. The chickens hear it, know what that sound is, and then they can come lay eggs in there. You still have to come up and close it or it doesn't work. So I have not been using those. We've bought several more, and I did not pay the extra to get their timer. But if you're going to come out here every day and set it, then it's worth having. Here's what happens. They sit up in here and try to keep the eggs. They'll actually even they'll reach down in there and roll the eggs back up so that they have, see here, this bird has 2 more eggs under it. Crack that one. Here. You want it or not? You better get it. They're gonna get it. Some of the dogs are super aggressive and run the birds off. Others just sit there and look at it. She won't want it until the chickens want it. This is sheep feed inside here, because the sheep can smell it or whatever. It just smells different. See these 2 birds here? They'll be up here super broody, and they'll try to sit on these eggs. Those will also be the birds sometimes that are eating the eggs. See, there's another egg under that one. 2 eggs under that one. Now these guys here, see the scratch, see the turkey go after it, and it's like, oh, I don't like that. Those turkeys, they like layer pellet. I give them scratch, they'll eat it, they'll live off it for a couple weeks, but they lose size. So when I put them back, when I throw pellet back in there, layer pellet, they gobble it up. So I give those turkeys layer pellet. So look, I put that pellet in there, that layer pellet I was talking about, and here's the turkeys. Now all of a sudden they're all over eating. See, the sheep are moving, so she wants to chase. And then she saw me and stopped. Leave it. Bunnies over there on the ground. They've got some, those rabbits on the ground, they've got some babies in the nest box in there. Those rabbits went through the entire winter in that pen. and I pellet fed them. Obviously didn't move them when there was snow or ice or anything. And they ran all through the winter. I put straw in there. They pooped all over it, made a mess of it. And they have been in this tractor all through the winter and everything. And now they're in here breeding. And there's babies. There's 2 babies right there. And then there's babies in the box because there's 1 male and 2 females in there. And now here we are in just a matter of probably 15 minutes. Maybe I've been out here 15, 20 minutes. And it's pouring rain again. My shirt is soaking wet. The hat, for the most part, keeps my head dry, which is not what I'm worried about. I had on earbuds until just a minute ago, listening to an audiobook, and it just kind of helps keep the earbuds dry. I wear Dre Beats, which they have become very difficult to get. I think they're discontinuing them. I like the ones with the cord on them, because when I take it out to talk to somebody, I have that cord that just keeps them over my shoulders. And it seems like everything that they're making now is separates. So you've got these 2 pieces now you have to put someplace, and I will lose them if they're not around my shoulders. So I continue to buy whatever I can get of old stock that has that, but I do know that sooner than later they'll discontinue them and I'll be on the hunt for another set of earbuds. I've tried skull candies, bows, everything, you name it. Way more expensive ones, everything. These suckers are about 200 bucks, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's expensive. I've tried $600 earbuds. Until you get to $1,000 earbud, those Dre Beats are the best sounding, and I can wear them while I'm on the mower and still be able to hear with the mower and equipment running, still hear the audiobook or music or whatever it is that I'm doing. That's why I use those Dre Beats earbuds. Look here, see that overflowing? It does overpower sometimes, and it fills these troughs, but it shouldn't be overpowering like that. What it means is that tank's probably filled and not emptying fast enough, but I've also got a blockage right here. With the thunder and lightning the way it's going, I'm not gonna climb up there right now and address that, but when it stops, I will come out here and address that and show you what that looks like and what that water catchment system looks like there. I really do need to put bigger gutters on. These gutters right here are the Lowe's gutters, and I would tell you, get metal gutters. Don't ever buy the plastic. These are metal gutters here, but whatever size gutter you think you need, that will work for 90% of the time. But spend the more money and get the bigger gutters, and there are companies everywhere that'll come right out to your property. They have a truck and a machine that makes a seamless gutter. And if you've never put gutter up before, you can't just put gutter up. You have to level it, and it has to lean to one side or to both sides if you're gonna have 2 downspouts. But every place you have roof, you should have gutter, either to divert water away so that it's not pushing water and soaking on your poles or whatever, your down verticals, but also so that you can capture it or move it to an area where it will not do any damage if you get more rain than normal. But water is the big thing, right? If they turn it off, you don't have any of it. So you might as well capture it. Like that's what that IBC tote there is, right? It's up high, it's up 6 feet high. So it has pressure if we put a hose on it and open it. We have several of those on the property. This tank back over here is 1,500 gallons. It's half buried into the ground, but it's elevated. So if we open it, push this water wherever we need it to go. And here we are really pouring again. All right, I'm gonna jump on the four-wheeler, head back in, and get some work done inside. Hopefully this will let up. I've got a bunch of garden plants to plant. I've got probably another, I'll bet I got 100 plants I need to put in today in the raised beds, which means I have some more raised beds to set up and some more of the protein tubs to set up also. But I'm kind of dead in the water, so to say. See what I did there? And I'll go inside and just work inside the shop for now. Also, you can't tell, and it doesn't look like it looking at it, but this tub leans forward so that when it overflows, it puts the water towards the downhill side. It's overflowing so much right now that it's flowing back in here, which is also moving downhill. Guys ask all the time what camera I use. And I'm like, man, when you're starting out, you don't need nothing but a GoPro. Today is a perfect example of why the GoPro is so perfect. You could take this camera, put it underwater. Here it is, pouring rain. There's a lot of times when I'm filming outside and it starts raining. You don't have to take your expensive camera and worry about getting it inside your truck or doing whatever you're going to do with it. This sucker is out here in the pouring rain, and it just doesn't matter. And GoPro has these high output batteries now, which give you about a 50% longer record time with those high output batteries. Everything you see outside here like this, 90% of that footage that you see on the compound or outside, or even me and Amanda running around, if I'm filming it, it's GoPro. Water running towards the edge of the property. There's a pond back there. This water all fills that pond. Water right here. You can see the gravel is kind of slowing this water down. It's coming off of this overhang here, that lean-to. And what I was saying with put the water where you want the water, you can see we've got these down pipes, downspout there into this pipe, but there's still water sitting there. It's not functioning as I want it to. Now it's still downhill. There's a couple inches till it comes up to the edge of the slab. So what I should probably do is just dig a trench here with a small excavator blade or even a skinny shovel and get the water to move. It comes this way though, but if you look, this is all downhill, and right down here is this swale right here, and you can see this swale right here. The greenhouse blocks a lot of the water that's going to come into this one, so there's a little bit of puddles in here. But this one here doesn't have the greenhouse blocking it, and that water all gets in here. You can't really see it as much. Bigger puddles, you don't see it as much right here because all the leaf matter that's in here off these trees, these oak leaves. But if you come out here in a couple hours after it stopped raining, that water all makes it downhill. This sucker will be 6, 7, 8 inches deep. That one holds a lot more water than that one does. Not that it holds more, it just catches, more water moves to it back. While we're out here anyways, might as well show you this. This is the soil we bought, I think last weekend we bought this soil at Walmart. The two generics, right? Potting mix, and then this other stuff here. This stuff is 4 a bag, and it's 1 cubic foot, so it's 8 for 2 cubic feet. This stuff here is 2 cubic feet, but it was 10 for 1 bag, right? So it's $2 more for this. Which one's growing better? I can't tell. Here's corn. Sunflower seeds. Same seeds here. Sunflower seeds. Corn. You can see there's 1 corn in there. I thought I heard a chicken. What are you doing out here, chicken? And here's the other corn from the soils we've had for a couple years in bags. Miracle Grow, Fox Farms. And everybody said the Fox Farms is a little hot. You can see that that corn is much more yellowed than this corn. Here's those poles we just put up. 4x6s, these are in concrete, these ones aren't. If you remember last year, we had a bunch of snow and ice and I didn't take the tarps down. Well, it didn't break the tarps, sunk the tarps down and bent these poles. And I'm surprised it didn't snap them because they were deviated like 12 inches inward. See how bowed this one here is? All of them were bowed the other direction. And when I released the tarp, it shot back. This one stayed bowed, but backwards. Weird, right? And then here's that stuff I did the other night. All the garden beds kind of lined up. You can see where the low point is. It's catching a lot of water. And then these ones are not catching as much water. The water's running downhill on the shade cloth. These claws are not actually shade cloth. These are mesh tarps to secure loads from Tractor Supply. And I bought several of these a couple years ago, and I went to buy one the other day, and they're $130 per tarp now. So I have ordered proper shade cloth at 50% rate off Amazon that should be here Monday or Tuesday. Same shade cloth that Beaver's showing and all those companies that are pushing stuff to you guys now in marketing. Looks to be the same cloth. I'm sure they're coming out of China or whatever. I'm sure these are probably coming out of China too, but we'll see if there's a difference between proper shade cloth and this stuff. But having some shade, I can water these 90-degree day, and at the end of the day, I water them every night at about 7 or 8 o'clock. By 7 or 8 o'clock the next day, these ones under the tarp still have moisture in the soil, where these ones outside are crumbly and dry. So they are working, even though they're not proper shade cloth. Here's your second take eggs for today. It's probably about 4 o'clock right now when I went out. If you're not used to pulling eggs twice a day, and you pull eggs once a day, and then you do go out and pull a second pull, and you get a bunch, this will be part of the eggs that you're used to getting the next morning. So don't be concerned if you pull eggs late in the day and then the next morning you have less. That's because that chicken hasn't laid by that morning and you took the egg that you would have gotten. So you're still better off pulling twice a day if you can swing it because it's less, because I promise you do have somewhere you got a chicken eating eggs and you just don't know it.